Trying to. There we go. At least I got that up there. Hey, the Toker 2, my brother. I'm playing with this thing as I'm going along, man. And I was talking about health and nutrition. And, that's a big thing with me, man. I eat clean daily, and I was talking about starting getting in shape, man. I started started with jogging, a little bit of jogging, man. I was finding I was going 2 or 3 blocks, and I feel like I'd have to puke. And but the thing was, man, the next day I'd go a couple of extra blocks and maybe I would puke, but it didn't matter anymore. I had it on my mind that I was going to get healthy. A lot of my friends thought I was nuts, because unhealthy people don't like it when you decide to get healthy. It's like that pack mentality. It's safer when the herd, and when you're doing something different, it's almost it's a danger to them because they think they're going to have to do it. But I didn't care. I wanted to I wanted to clean myself up. I was eating all junk food. I was getting fucked up every day. I was doing pills. I was just it was a bad life, but yet I was maintaining. I had my job and I thought I was holding my marriage, my family together. But man, it was totally the opposite. But anyway, man, I got myself healthy. I put the drugs, I put the booze down, and before long, I was running a mile. Then 2, 3, 4 miles. It was cool, man. I ran a 5K race, then I ran a 10K race, and I just kept doing that. But there was something missing. I was losing the weight, but I didn't see what I wanted to see in the mirror. I didn't see any muscle on there. So I started playing with weights, and I'm seeing small changes. I had a little gym in my basement, but I really didn't have any idea about nutrition. And I outgrew my weight set in the basement, but still, man, I'm saying, man, I'm working my ass off. I'm running. I had no idea how to eat properly. How to eat to gain muscle. I didn't know what protein, carbohydrates, good fats. Period. I had no clue. I thought amino acids were in fruit juice. That's how fucked up my knowledge was. But anyway, I joined a gym, man. That was a big step. A couple of guys I knew, they weren't real good friends, but they were starting to be friends because they were healthy people. I was starting to hang around with healthier people. I joined a gym, and man, it was amazing just getting in there and using professional grade machines. Olympic weights. I didn't realize how weak I was. Playing around with the Sears and Roebuck shit in the basement. But anyway, man, I stuck with it. I was there every day. I tried to lift as heavy as I could. I get into working with machines, working safely. I met some good people. After a while, it became like it was a way of life. And excuse me, got to get a little water here. The key of life, water, man, drink it. But anyway, man, I was a gym rat, and people were always asking me to help them train. I started getting in good shape. I started to I learned how to eat properly. I learned the value of protein. How to time your nutrition with your workouts. I like everything else, man. I was a junkie at it. I read as much as I could. I talked to the professionals. People were asking me to help them train. And then, a few guys, hey, man, you want to get certified? You want to train in this gym, you need a certification. So anyway, I got certified. And, my brother Oscar, how do you motivate yourself to exercise? I'm skinny, but I got the belly and I want to lose the belly. I'll tell you, my brother Oscar, the key is in the diet, man. Hey, my brother Tyrone, salute. Glad you're up here, bro. The key is in the diet. Exercising is something that we have to do because if you don't move it, you're going to lose it. You don't want to get if you're skinny, you have to be aware you might have visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. So if you're not exercising, you can still get you still can't get healthy by being skinny. Skinny is not the key to health. The number one grinder out there, salute. But how I motivated myself was, bro, I just took a look at myself in the mirror, man. I was getting up there in age. Bro, I didn't have the muscles that I used to have without even having to go and work out. Just by being in my 20s and my 30s, man. I was blessed with decent genetics. I was always active, so I wasn't seeing that anymore. I was seeing it kind of get covered up with fat, and I just realized that it's not just the cardio. Cardio is very important. That's exercising the heart, keeping your wind going, keeping everything moving. But you need resistance training too. And like I said, bro, it really is. It becomes a way of life. You want to do it because the more you do it, the better you feel, and there's always room for improvement. It's like you learn as you go. There's no wrong way. You clean up your diet. You start to look at labels. You throw away not throw away, but you don't restock the unprocessed foods. The high sodiums. You read labels. And you try to get down to the basics. There's only 3 things you can put in your body, and that's protein, carbohydrates, and fat. And you want to get the leanest sources of proteins you can get. You don't want to get meats that are processed. You want to stay away from hot dogs, sausages, bacon, things that have added nitrates. You want to get a clean cut of meat. If you can get, maybe you can't get cheap cuts, because cheap cuts are, they're raised with anabolic chemicals and just cramped conditions. Anyway, if you spend a little more, bro, you can get you can get the clean cuts of protein, which I get. I think it's what your body needs. It's the number one nutrient. It's the nutrient that your body uses to rebuild and repair muscles, internal organs. I mean, without protein, we'd shrivel up and die. Carbohydrates, we get those from, hey, salute my brother LT. Glad to have you in here, my bro. I wish I knew how to drop a link. Oh, wait a minute. There's something that says invite here. Let me see if this works. Copy to clipboard. Let me see here. Yeah, if anybody wants to come on here, I see if that works. I wouldn't, I hope I know how to even get you in here if you do. But anyway, we're having a little talk about nutrition over here. Diet soda, nah. As far as drinking, man, see, diet soda is loaded with chemicals, and that's what I try to keep out of my body, man. My wife drinks a lot of diet soda, and she drinks it because it has no sugar, but it has the sucralose, which if you do some studying on that, it's something that we really don't want to keep putting in our bodies. It's better, maybe better than sugar. I don't know, man. I'm not a licensed nutritionist, but I know what works for me, and I know diet soda. It's got first of all, it's got a lot of dye in there. And you have to watch out for what it does to your teeth before it even gets into your stomach, and it's loaded with chemicals. The cola is loaded with caffeine. Diet soda, man. I stick to water if you can, man. If you can drink water, that's the drink. That's the only thing I drink today, man. I'd say it's about 3 or 4 years ago, I just decided to put down, the Kool-Aid. I haven't drank alcohol in like 20 years. That's a whole nother story. But stick with the water, Tyrone. And did I ever get into powerlifting? Yes, I did, brother. I used to hang with the powerlifters all the time at the gym. I was primarily a bodybuilder, but man, you can't get stronger or bigger than just doing your 3 basic lifts. And I used to go to the powerlifting competitions. I used to hang around with him. I coached an old man. He set a record down in Louisiana for 65 or over for the highest squat, the highest deadlift, and he didn't get the bench press, but he set a couple of national records. I don't know if he's still holding them. This was back in the 90s, bro. But I love powerlifting, man. I used to bench. I tried to bench 400 pounds. I could never break that 350 mark. Maybe 360 on a good day, 365. I tried to get 400 before I turned 50, and I couldn't do it, bro. I had to back off after that. But my deadlifts were pushing close to 500. My squats were up there over 400, all raw stuff. I never wore suits or anything, man. But yeah, I used to hang with the power lifters. And like I said, man, I'm not a big guy. I used to hang around with gorillas, man. These guys would pop up 500, 550, in practice, deadlift 700s, damn unbelievable weights, but they're also drugging their brains out, and all they did was powerlift. Powerlifting is, the lifestyle. They eat a lot of red meat. Their physiques are not aesthetically pleasing. It's it's a lifestyle, and like I said, I mixed it all up. I used to train with the power lifters on certain days. I trained with the bodybuilders on certain days. I did different routines, but yeah, powerlifting is definitely it's your basic lifts. It's the three of the best lifts you can do. Bench pressing. Everybody wants to. That's the first thing we start doing is bench pressing. And first thing I started doing, everybody likes the bench press. That's what the guys want, the big chest. And I've seen people who salute Tyrone. Yeah, man. It's my friend Marcel Donabedi, and he just passed away last year, man. I got a picture of us down there, bro. It was a cool experience. It was back in it was probably in '98. It was the Natural Drug Free Powerlifting Association. Good time. And no, it was all part of the lifestyle. You didn't mind traveling. I went to Las Vegas to see some of my friends do bodybuilding competitions, and man, it was like almost everything I get myself into. Like the jazz world, man. I was like, I'd sleep till 3 o'clock. Hit the clubs and come home at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Sometimes, that was the lifestyle back then. The fitness lifestyle. I was up at 5 in the morning, doing cardio, and I'd be in bed at 10 o'clock that was a late night. So it's a crazy thing. Derek Clark, my brother, Greek protein is a good protein. I've had steak the last 2 days. That's it, my brother, man. Hey, nutrition is Greek yogurt. That's cool. Let me see if I know how to get you on here, Grinder. All right. Hey, man. You're the first guest I've ever had on a in fact, this is the first broadcast I've ever done. I did a little practice thing the other day, but this was like fun over here, man.
Yeah,
what's happening, my brother? I'm glad that it worked and you're up here.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you very much. I'm honored,
bro. I'm glad you're here. Did you hear about the unfortunate events of some of the recent bodybuilders? Rodan and Peterson, bro. I didn't, I know Sean Rodan, and I just haven't been following it like I used to. When I was following bodybuilding, bro, I was buying my Muscle Mag and the Mr. Olympia. That was the man. I mean, I remember when I was watching bodybuilding, I was watching Sean Ray and Flex Wheeler. The Mr. Olympia at the time was Dorian Yates, bro. You remember him?
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Damn, he was a monster. But anyway, he retired, and it was everybody thought it was either going to be Nasser El Sanabate, Flex Wheeler, or Sean Ray. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, walks this fucking elephant, Ronnie Coleman. I mean, the guy, he was a top 10 bodybuilder, but he was never like this. I think this was 99 or 97. Anyway, it was when it was his the Olympia was open. Dorian Yates retired, and it was for the vacant title, and Ronnie Coleman came in there. I mean, he must have been close to 300 pounds. He was an elephant among gorillas. He just stood out. And I think he held the Olympia for 7 years after that. Kevin Lee Verone. Oh, yeah, I remember Kevin Lee Verone. In fact, I have a friend who knows Kevin Lee Verone. He's from the East Coast. I believe he lives in Baltimore. And a friend of mine who does who's actually, one of my oldest, dearest friends in bodybuilding and nutrition. And he knows Kevin Lee Verone personally. They do a podcast together, and I see that's when I skipped. I kind of got away from the gym rat, the bodybuilding into boxing and my business, my nutritional supplement business, where I was just so engrossed in that. I was doing 15-hour days, 10 hours in the store, 5 hours trying to juggle the books, trying to keep myself in shape. It was a crazy time, but man, oh yeah, Kevin Leverone, probably one of the greatest physiques never to win the Olympic title, man. Shout out to Kevin Leverone, Brent, man. Great physique. But anyway, Ronnie Coleman, he just overtook the bodybuilding world. He was a monster. You picture Hulk Hogan size. Anybody out there knows anything about bodybuilding, bro? Man, Ronnie Coleman. And the sad part about it is, bodybuilding on that level is drug enhanced. If they took the drugs out, those guys are going to win the Olympic title anyway. But with drugs, they become walking freaks. They are like not even human beings. And then when they retire and they get off the drugs, man, it's like it's sad to see. It really is. I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm going with that, but anyway, man, yeah, bodybuilding was definitely a big part of my life, and I want to talk about that, and I also want to talk about weed on my channel too, because that's I don't do any mind altering substances. The only thing that I do is the weed, and I've been smoking weed since 1969, bro. The rat weed, the dirt weed, all the shit that's around, forever. When we used to buy the nickel bags of Mexican, you didn't know if you're getting oregano or the real McCoy. And it's always been a part of my life. I've always been involved in the culture, man. I used to hang around the Jamaicans when I was in the city, man. And man, those guys turned me on to the really high grade stuff. And it's been a passion with me. You see the Toka 2 up there. That's a pipe that I bought the original one back in when I was in college. I was $24, and somebody said, "Oh, this is one of the OGs." He said, "This is the best way to smoke weed. You're not gonna regret it." And I $25 back in the '70s. That was a lot of money, bro. I was a college student at the time, but anyway, it was the best 25 I spent back then, and I just saw it online a couple of months ago, and man, I jumped on it. I asked my wife. It was $100, so I had to kind of get on my knees and beg the wife for $100, which is probably harder to get today than the 25 was back in the '70s. You know what I'm saying, bro? But anyway, man, the Toka 2 is. To me, it's the cleanest way to smoke your weed. You don't get any paper. You're not getting anything except the weed, and it's filtered through water. And man, I do 3 good lung blasters on that, and it takes my pain away, because I have chronic arthritis from doing that powerlifting we were just talking about, man. I was trying to put that fucking 500 pounds up, that 400 pounds up before I turned 50. And man, my shoulders, I had impingements on my shoulders. And I went to a doctor, and he told me that my arthritis was so bad that the only way I could relieve the pain was getting on pain pills. He put me on OxyContin. I was on that shit for like 8 years, and it was a masking agent. I was still lifting like crazy. I was functioning, but it was probably one of the worst experiences of my life when it started to become a problem, when it wasn't working on pain, and I was just taking it for recreation. And the dose he was giving me, and this is the crazy thing, Grinder. I had this doctor, and he had no problem writing me for OxyContin for the 530 milligram pills every day. And I don't know if you know anything about that shit, but one of those pills would kill a person if they didn't have a system that was accustomed to it. And this guy had no problem giving me 150 of those a month. And when I got off them, which I had to use this stuff called Suboxone to help me get off the fucking things, because they were fucking up everything in my life, my stomach, my head, you name it, man. But anyway, I thank God that they're not a problem anymore. But this doctor would not write me a marijuana card. He's giving me enough drug, bro. He's giving me enough drugs to go out and kill the whole fucking block every month, but he wouldn't write me for a card to make my joints legal. I had to go see another doctor for that. Isn't that fucked up, man?
Yeah, it's messed up. That's bad business.
Damn, he was so happy when I told him I didn't want any more pain pills, and because that was a time where they started going around and checking doctors' license, making sure they weren't over prescribing. And as far as I look back at it now, he was definitely over prescribing, bro. I mean, he's selling me this shit. I could have sold those pills for $30 a piece. People, they're telling me now, and that's like $1,500 a month. It's ridiculous. It was insane. And all I wanted was something to relieve the pain. I found out that I can get these strains of weed now at these dispensaries, and I love them, man. I sit here with my Toka 2. I'm not in pain. I'm coherent. I'm not nodding out. Life is good. My wife likes to smoke. I think our marriage is stronger because of it. If we're bored in the afternoon, we'll take a ride. We'll go buy a candy bar, an edible. We'll catch a buzz. We'll drive around the state, put some good jazz on the stereo, and or just put the buds on and listen to podcasts. But I love smoking the weed, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know what do you think of that, Grindy? You think that's a problem, or you think that's what I do is what I do?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, bro. Go ahead, man. I'm hogging the mic over here.
No, that's your channel, man.
But this is only a practice session, bro. I want you to tell me I'm talking too much, man. Tell me to shut the fuck up.
That's your channel. Do what you want. You got to get used to it, man. You in charge of the channel, yeah, man. We enjoying the conversation, yours, man. You ain't. We learn a lot, man. It's your channel. You run it, man. But we hope, man. I gotta try, man. Come on, it's your channel, man. We enjoy it, man.
But brother, you're my first guest I've had in my house. Man, that's an honor for me, brother. Really, man.
It's an honor for me to be in your house,
no,
man.
I was wondering. I'm playing with this, and I'm saying, geez, I wonder if I can get anybody to come up here with me. And then I see Lars out there saying hello. I see Tyrone. And yourself, and I'm saying, shit, man, I got people listening to me over here. Oscar and bro, it's just a LT out there, man. Just kind of a cool thing. And man, I enjoy doing this. This is like I said, this is the first time I made an attempt at a channel. My bro's coming down tomorrow. He's going to upgrade my computer, and he's gonna hook me up with a camera. Because I live in this amazing little shack on the bay in Bristol, man, and I see things out there that I would love to share. If I told people the things I saw, the waterfowl, like the birds that come by, and huge birds, man, that dive and come out with a fish in their mouth, and I'm saying to my wife, man, if I could get a camera, and then my brother said, "Oh, we can get you one. We can show you can show your friends what's going on, because there are some amazing things. I'm talking about National Geographic shit, stuff that like you really wouldn't believe. I can go out there and I can call swans. Swans come by. It's funny because I live on a bay which is connected directly to the ocean. I mean, when the ocean's rough, it's rough. My house is getting smashed with waves. I mean, I live so close that I've caught fish off of my porch on the side. Oh, bro, really? When you see it, you're not going to believe it. And you couldn't build a house. It's only a small little shack. It was a summer cottage. Back it was built in the 40s, and the neighborhood is built up since then. Before it was kind of like out in the woods, but I guess anything on the waterfront, people grab it now and build houses there. Yeah. But the house that I have, it was built before they had all these zoning laws and how you had to build and what you had to do to stay so far from the water and this and that. My house is like so close to the water that there's no houses around that are that close. And if my house probably burned down, I bet you wouldn't even be able to rebuild it. Because it's so close. I've had the DEM. When you had to put sewers in. Because my house is kind of far away from the street, I didn't have to hook up to the sewer, but yet it was so close to the water. I was doing some major repairs a couple of years ago, and I had the DEM pull up on a boat, testing the quality of the water in front of my house, making sure that I wasn't polluting the water, not being hooked up to the sewer, where I was hooked up to a legal septic system. It's weird, man. It's fucked up when you own a house, JT. I tell you, bro, I'd rather still have the old apartment, man. Pay a few $100 a month and just turn the key. But there's nothing like living over here, bro. I see the craziest sights. I mean, I look at the city. It's called Fall River across from me, probably about 5 miles across. And the real interesting things have happened there. It's where Lizzie Borden, you ever heard of Lizzie Borden had an axe, gave her father 40 whacks?
Yeah.
That's the city that I see, from my window every day. I see the sunrise over the city of Fall River, and then to me, it's just a beautiful thing. I'm spoiled, man. It's kind of like it's like my own volume. It's just so relaxing. I don't look at traffic. I don't look at any of the bullshit that I have to deal with in the course of my day. It's just like I sit down. It's almost like a picture window. It really is. It's a picture window that people would paint portraits of it. I mean, I'm really not over exaggerating, because as soon as I get the camera hooked up, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you a lot of the shit that I take for granted. I see here every day. And it's just one of those things that I like to include, because I don't want to just be boxing. Although I love boxing, and boxing is all encompassing. I mean, shit, we just saw we had such great fights this past year, and just the past couple of weeks. I mean, if I could just go back to the Anthony Joshua fight, with the Usyk, man, that was,
Yeah.
and it led the way. And then we saw Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, the whole undercard there, Sanchez and Jagba and Helenius and Kowalski. Oh, bro, and it's just getting better and better and better. And we're waiting now for Bud Crawford and Sean Porter.
Yeah.
Man, there's just so it's all encompassing. And this weekend, it's not a big weekend for fights, but there's a lot of good fights happening. David Benavidez is fighting.
Yeah.
He's fighting a replacement. He was going to fight that Uzdakaki or whatever, however you pronounce it. But now I guess the guy's name is Kieran Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He was a replacement. He fought Anthony Durrell not long ago. It was a draw, and I thought he beat Durrell.
That's how I thought so too.
But Benavidez, he's a special animal. I think Benavidez, he could be trouble for Canelo Alvarez. This kid is tough. I mean, he's young. He looks like a light heavyweight, and he's got power punches, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what are you looking at for that fight, Grinder? You think he's going to you think it's going to be Benavidez, or you think it's going to be Davis, an upset?
I think Benavidez gonna pull it out.
I think he is too. I think it's probably going to be easy, but I always go for the underdog. I have no skin in the game, bro. I love boxing. I'm not a fan of any fighter. I can't think of one single fighter out there that I'm going to lose any sleep over.
I think I said that because I think Benavidez see the bigger picture, and he just want to get that out the way. I think the other fight he gonna come to fight, but I think at the end there's gonna be no match because, like I said, Benavidez, he wants he want to go out. He wants Canelo. So there's a bigger picture. But the thing about that though is Canelo gonna fight because there is some talking about if he ever get undisputed. We were talking about that months ago on Brother Bruce that he's gonna retire. I hope he don't. It's too many fights,
Well, that's the whole thing right now is who's going to win the lottery and who's Canelo going to choose for his next opponent. It could be anybody, man. It's almost a no-lose situation for boxing fans because, I mean, we're looking at the Charlo, either one of them, probably Maul Charlo, but little Mel, I mean, he's got a big mouth. He'll step right up there too. He doesn't give a fuck about anything. He'll fight a heavyweight. Now you got the Charlos. Of course, we got Benavidez out there. Then we have Demetrius Andrade. I mean, even Triple G. That's what people are saying. They want to see. Some people. I'm not one of them, but they want to see.
I don't want to see that. I think there's. I think that battle is
I think so too. And Triple G's 40 years old now. When did he fight last? Was it? It was the. Oh man, I can't even remember the guy's name. It was after he fought Rolls, Sizzlick or something like that. But anyway, it wasn't even that good a performance, and that was going on 2 years ago. So Triple G, man, nah, I don't want to see him in the contest. But the light heavyweights out there, bro. I mean, Baturviev, Bivol, Joe Smith, any one of those. If Canelo decides to go in that direction, those are great fights. So I mean, Canelo pretty much he's in the driver's seat. He'll name the opponent that he wants when he wants. I'm sure he's going to take a long time off. He just had a big fight. He made a lot of money. The Gold Professor, my brother, salute out there, man. Glad to see you out there, brother. The Gold Professor, bro. I wish I knew how to drop links in here because this is kind of the first time I've been up here, brother. But I want to say, man, your show, I put that on usually either when I get back walking the dog or before I do if I've slept late. And man, that show is
brother GP.
It's like taking my blood pressure medication. It just kind of gets me nice for the day. If I have any hostilities in me, bro, I start listening to you, and man, it's great convo. It wakes me up on a good note. And man, you know what? You have a great platform. You change it up daily, bro. You accept different opinions out there, bro. I've never seen you rattled, man. You're a good example, man. I strive to achieve the zen that you have, bro. So salute to you, Gold Professor. If you can drop a link in there, bro, go right ahead, man. Because anybody that doesn't listen to Gold Professor, man, they're getting up on the wrong side of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Boxing and Sports out there. Thanks for coming in, bro. I don't know how to give wrenches out. I don't know how to do anything. Bro. We're just doing what we're doing here, man.
Okay, I'll show you if you want, but you gotta go to your YouTube.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it another time, Grinder. Because
no problem.
It's about 11:30 here. I kind of like to hit the hay. I'm one of these guys, bro. The thing is, man, I'm addicted to television. Only when I go to bed, I have to watch TV. It's weird, man, and it doesn't matter what it is. I watch these idiotic shows, man. Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, just stupid stuff. I don't like it to be too funny because I laugh a lot, man. I love to laugh. I think laughter is probably the greatest thing that we can do, man. Laughter is. There's nothing better. But the problem is, if I start laughing at one of these shows, I'll stay awake. And which is the whole purpose of putting the TV on is to mellow me out. It's weird because when I just go there, shut the lights off in darkness, man, I eventually fall asleep in 10 minutes, but it's a habit that I've had since probably since I guess since my daddy said I could have a TV in my bedroom, but I like to fall asleep to it. I set the timer. It's a weird habit, but that's the way I nod off. And like I said, wake up. Usually the first channel I put on is the Gold Professor, and after he's done, I'll put Drew on, and I just take care of my day. One another good thing that just happened to me, man. I used to, I got the phone that I listened to a lot of the podcasts on, the music and everything else. But I never knew how to. I put it in my pocket, and if I had a wrench, I'd time people out, or I'd lose the music I was listening to. I didn't know how to shut the screen off without shutting the whole phone down. But I just learned that last week, man. So I can put the Gold Professor on when I go for walks. Put them in my pocket, and I'm not going to time out everybody. And it's just. Bro, like I said, like I told you before, Grinder, I am so new at the internet, at basically computers in general, man. I grew up in the 70s when, you walked into an elevator and there was some dude standing there with a uniform and brass buttons and freaking, braids on his sleeve. You told him what floor you wanted to go on. That's the generation I came from, man. When I went to school, I after I graduated from Graham Junior College, I think I told you it was bought by Boston University. So I had another half semester, which I took at Boston University School of Public Communications, and it was just when the internet was coming out. They actually had they had introduction to computers, I believe it was called. And back then people were looking at it like it was a fad, like it was never going to click on. And some of the people I knew who took it seriously are very successful today because they got in on the ground floor. And like I said, the computer room was as big as my house basically, and it was done with cards. A lot of tapes in there. Totally archaic to what's on now. But a few of these guys got ground floor on there, and one of my friends, Roy Raya, he was one of the founders of LinkedIn. Everybody's heard of that. And he was telling me about that. I'm going to say 6 years ago. I was in touch with him. I used to converse with him on Facebook when I did that years ago. And he was in my class at school, and so we hooked up. And he retired. He was a state cop after he graduated from school from class. But he always played with the computers. And like I said, man, he was a helicopter pilot, and him and a bunch of associates, they formed LinkedIn, and the guy's a millionaire so many times over now. But it was just it was a path there that I should have followed that path, but I took the path where we still we still went in the elevator and had the guy press the floor for us. And when all that shit came out, I was lost, man. I got my first desktop. I believe it was in probably '96 or so. And man, when I learned how to cut and paste, it was like a big thing for me because I was typing addresses in the bar. I still really I am so limited. Like even right now, I'm doing this by just kind of practicing. I pressed a few buttons and I it said go live. I got on here and I'm seeing a lot of I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces, and I'm having a good old time. And it's closing in on 20 minutes of midnight. And like I said, Bo, it's when you get this age, you can't. My sleeping pattern has changed where I can't sleep late anymore. When the sun's up, I'm up, and now it's up earlier. We just had this daylight saving. We're off daylight savings time. We're on standard time. Where damn, hey, it's dark at 3 o'clock now, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's screwing up everything. Anyway, global warming, man. It still feels like spring around here. We still have the trees still have green leaves on them, man. It's I know it's screwing up the wildlife. They're telling me that the deers are getting invaded with ticks that they should be dormant by now, but because the climate's changed, and we're really having a major screw up on us. But me personally, I'm a guy. No matter what time I go to bed, if I get to sleep at 2 o'clock, when 7 a.m. comes, or when that sun comes up and it's like bing, I just wake up. I'm wide awake, and I don't drink coffee in the morning. I haven't had a cup of coffee now in I'm going to say probably 10, 12 years, man. I'm awake in bed kind of a person, man. I don't need anything, man.
10 to 12 years?
Yeah. Wow. Well, see, I have this thing called Barrett's syndrome where I have to live on a very selective diet. See, what it is you can Google it and everything, but it's the muscles in your small intestine. Where your esophagus reaches your stomach, there are muscles there to stop the acid reflux. And with Barrett's, your muscles don't work. So, you're supposed to get continuous heartburn, which I don't get. And they give you have to eat a very restricted diet. But see, with bodybuilding and nutrition that I've been doing for the last 30 years, I've been eating a clean diet anyway, so it wasn't that drastic. But one of the things you have to eliminate is caffeine, which was really no problem. Alcohol, no problem. A lot of saturated fats and chocolates, and I mean it's very restrictive to some people, but I had no problem following it, man. Like I said, caffeine was no problem to eliminate. My wife still drinks it. She still makes a pot of coffee every morning. When I'll put a drop of caffeine in my system when I have my oatmeal. Once in a while, I'll put some cinnamon in there, and a little bit of honey, and I'll put a little bit of coffee in there, and it makes it taste like a cinnamon bun. I'll put protein in there. But anyway, that's the only time I get coffee, and it's not even a lot. It's like maybe just a couple of drops. It's like, I mean, it would, if you measured the oatmeal for caffeine content, it would probably be like, in the fucking 0 to 1. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, man, that's that that's me with coffee and sleep, bro. If 5 hours, 5.5 hours, and I'm good to go, man. I don't need any more. I get my annual physical. I tell my doctor everything. I don't lie. Some people they don't tell their doctors everything. I go and I tell my doctor everything. I tell them how much weed I'm smoking. Do you smoke a lot? I said, well, if you consider Cheech and Chong smoking a lot, and but anyway, oh well, you should curb that. Everything else, man, blood pressure's good. My body mass index is fine. Cholesterol, sugar, vitamin D levels. Everything they could possibly check. Prostate. I believe in getting checked by a professional. Seeing a doctor for your annual checkup. Especially when you're over 40. And bro, I'm 25 years past 40, man. And I'm fortunate enough to have insurance. In this country, anybody with a Social Security number, if you don't have health insurance, get in touch with Social Security. Talk to somebody, because if that's that right now. The administration that we're in, they're dumping so much money into covering uninsured people. It's like back when Obama was president, where it's available, but people have to go out and look for it. And how we're being involved with boxing. There's an organization out there. It's called Ring 10, and what they do is they help down and out boxers. And there's a lot of them. They call it punch drunk. It's not, but it's not punch drunk. Now we know it's encephalitis. It's traumatic encephalitis. TS. Damn, I can't even. My mind is so blank right now. I've said it a million times, but anyway, it's a common head injury in football and in any contact sport. People think it's punch drunk. They think they're slurring their words, but that's not. It's actually it's from taking those hits to the head, where encephalitis is the disease. My mom had it when I was a kid, and I remember everybody was crying. They thought she was going to die because it's fatal for a lot of people. And I was fortunate that my mom pulled out of it, but chronic and traumatic encephalitis, CTE. My mind goes blank. I'm pretty stoned right now. Thinking of these crazy these pronunciations and everything, but this organization, it reaches out to help boxers, because a lot of them, they don't realize that they had to retire early, and they think they have to wait till they're 65 before they can collect Social Security, and that's not the case. If you can't work due to an injury, and lapses in employment are nothing these days, because alcoholism and drug addiction, that's a common thing. Years ago it was hush hush, and if they saw like a 5-year lapse in employment, you thought you were in trouble. That's not the case anymore. It's part of life. And there are agencies out there that'll direct these people to to put them on Social Security, help them get housing, help them get EBT, food stamps, but they have to go and they have to sign up. These people aren't going to come and look for you. You have to make that first move. And I'm trying to I'm trying to hook up with Ring 10, which I have verbally. We've been on shows together, but I want to contact some of the people I know in the industry that could help them. But I don't want to just go there, and say, this is Bruce Goes. I want to help retired boxers. I want to go there, representing Ring 10, and where when they call them, they'll know what they're talking about. It's not just me doing it. And I've sent emails to the guys at Ring 10. I haven't heard back from them. And I talked to Glenn, Major Key. he knows those guys, and he's actually involved in the insurance industries. He's a broker. So we're gonna try to do something to help these down and out fighters that really don't realize that the help's available. If you have a Social Security number, you're eligible for Social Security if you can't work, man. That's one of the few beautiful parts about being an American, being a citizen. We have benefits, but we have to go out there and apply for them. And really, it only takes that one initial application, and then you have the bureaucrats that give out these benefits. That's their job. It's to give them out. If they don't give them out, they don't get the money the next fiscal year to replenish the benefits anymore. So it really it's a game, but it's a kind of a game where it would be a great thing for retired fighters to know about. What do you think, JD? Do you see a lot of benefits for that for retired fighters who are down and out now, man?
They should, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's mandatory because there are some really sad stories out there, some tragic stories. The sister of Gerald McClellan, you remember him?
Oh yeah, the one beat Julia Jackson twice.
Yeah.
And also he has a but his career was on a roll though. He beat some pretty good fighters,
He was the killer of the super middleweight division. I didn't think anybody was going to beat him. And then he went to England and he fought Nigel Benn. And that's the saddest fight in the world. I don't know what happened. It all caught up at once. He had a brain injury and he had trauma while he was in the ring. He was as close to death as you could be. And he was a vegetable after that. He was blind, paralyzed. He could just barely talk. It was so sad, so tragic. I mean, it almost makes me want to stop watching boxing. It's one of those things that I can't even watch that fight a second time. But
and also it affected Nigel Benn too.
Oh yeah, well, see, I saw a special where Nigel Benn went back to talk to Gerald McClellan when went to his hometown, went into his house. I mean, it was one of those things where I couldn't keep a tear back. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
And he whispered to him and he told him who in McClellan could be Nigel Benn. He knew the name, and he was trying to get through him. It was man. I don't know what to say, but I guess it meant a lot for Nigel Benn to go back there and hug him and just tell him how sorry he was, and he wishes it just didn't happen. But unfortunately, that's the sport we love, bro.
That's a gladiator sport. You could actually die. You know what I'm saying? You could actually be injured for life. You know what I mean? And that's what he's signed up for. You know what I mean?
Every one of those guys that get in the ring, from those 16-year-old amateurs, to put those 20-ounce gloves on, up to Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant the other night, man. Anybody that steps in that ring is putting their life on the line to entertain us. So that's why anybody that calls them bums, it's like, who the fuck are you calling a bum? You go down to your local gym, bro. You strap it up with the tough guy. You're the tough guy. You go down there and you get in the ring with the tough guy in the gym, and you see how tough you are. You see how that attitude changes. You see how you're not going to call anybody tomato cans or bums, Bro, there's no bums in our business, bro. There's fighters, different levels of fighting, but you step into that ring and bro, you're not a bum.
Yeah.
Grinder, I'm going to end it with that one, bro. I was on here for an hour.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. And everybody out there who came to see us, man, the Gold Professor, TJ Boxing, Tyrone, man, Derek Clark, man, it was a lot of fun out here. LT stopped in here. Laz stopped in there. Oscar Prince Boxing. It's more than I expected. I feel really good about it, man. And Grinder, bro, my first guest on here, brother. I appreciate it, bro.
Anytime, man. My pleasure, man. You have a good night, brother.
Peace out to you, my brother.
All right.